At my age, and I'm just speaking personally, at my age, I think I have something more that I need to offer. I think I have an obligation as an artist, as a community artist, to start implementing a little bit more social messages, or at least give a reflection of our surroundings through my work, as opposed to just doing graffiti. In the case of murals and outdoor work, I'm very conscious that people will be watching, which is why I choose my battles wisely, and I choose the spaces that are going to be where I'm going to be painting with care and time. As I moved in and I settled in a couple years ago, I had to get an understanding of who was around me because I was going to do this mural. Being a new neighbor in town, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers or rattle any cages. So I wanted to make sure that whatever I put up would be aesthetically pleasing, at least, you know. I started primering my wall, and in doing so, this car pulled up and this gentleman jumped out. He says, "I'm the director for a battered women's shelter. I really would like to put something positive so that they can wake up to something positive every day." I saw this gate as a cage, and I figured, wow, that'd be kind of cool because I have these butterflies already, and I could incorporate that into my mural so it becomes sort of a 3D deal. So when the doors are open and the cage is open, it looks like these butterflies are coming out. That Saturday, I finished the painting. I came on Sunday to do some touch-ups to it. As I'm on the ladder in the morning, I'm finishing up, and I'm all sunburnt from the day before. I'm tired, you know, long day. I'm painting it, and I hear in the distance, I hear a bunch of clapping. And I'm like, what's going on? So I turn around, there's about 12, 13 women waving hi to me.
These conversations are going to be organic. What comes out of them is going to be who's at the table and what they want to talk about. And so, you know, I think it's important that we don't have an agenda for those, that we don't facilitate these in any way. You know, these are just going to be people who are going to talk about whatever it is that they may want to talk about. And that's what's going to be important in this, because that's where we're going to get the information that we want to get. And we're going to see more people engaged. One of the things that's so impressive about On the Table, it is taking this to the grassroots level so that we're able to hear from people from various walks of life, you know, a diverse community of people throughout Lake County. You know, what is it that you would like to see for your personal community, but what is it that you would like to see for Lake County as a whole? And so from the information that we gather from these conversations, it will help guide some of our strategic direction on how we might be able to help some of those things happen. We're going to have written surveys that will be there that they can fill out. It's going to take no more than 10 minutes to do that. It's wonderful to have the conversations at the table and for people to be engaged. The second part of that is for us to know what it is that they're engaged about. And so that will help guide us. Anytime that you're working with outside groups and you're moving outside yourself, that is empowering, that you can see that you have the opportunity to have impact. It's one way for you to say, you know, I really can make a difference in my own community. There's real opportunity for people to be empowered and to see that what they do makes a difference.
So we put Eric Garner near a store in your community selling loosies. How do you handle it as a leader? How do you ask your police officers to handle a situation like that? The man was on the ground, Assistant Chief Julie Smith, saying, I can't breathe. And they still had the pressure on him. What do you do with someone selling loosies saying, I can't breathe? What do you tell your staff?
At any point when you have a suspect, and keep in mind that sometimes, even though a lot of people don't want to admit it, we do have people that lie to us. But when you have someone in that situation, which we've had in the news over the last year, that is telling you that they're in some sort of medical or physical distress. At some point, you have to address that, and you have to do it where the safety of the officers and the person that you're dealing with are maintained. He's saying he can't breathe, then at that point, and the other thing that plays into this is the adrenaline on both parties. Mr. Garner's adrenaline, processing what's happening to him, and the adrenaline of the officers dealing with someone that they think is resisting them. Again, it comes back to training. It comes back to listening for those cues, because we do have to train for in-custody deaths, and fall back on those things. And when you have somebody that, we've had suspects that say my handcuffs are too tight. Does that mean we take the handcuffs completely off? Absolutely not. But we do have a duty to check that person to make sure that they aren't too tight. Yeah. And it kind of goes along that same principle.
Yeah. Mayor Ron Meir, have you created an initiative to improve race relations in Michigan City?
Well, I think I have, because we have a very vast outreach now that hadn't happened in some past administrations, of where there's a very close, open dialogue with a variety of organizations, the Ministers Alliance, the NAACP, the Prosecutor's Office, and LaPorte County, Michigan City Police Department work very closely together. And just this last weekend, we had a big community Easter egg hunt, where I would say all segments of the community were out there. It was police officers interacting with the children, with the parents, with grandparents. So we have as best as we can. There's priorities that you're working on, because it's a very complex issue of trying to help your entire community. I've always said that if one part of, just like one part of your body's ailing, it affects the entire body. So if one segment of your community is not doing well, it's going to affect your entire city. So everything we do is towards job creation, which I think eases some of these stresses and things that are out there.
Let's check out some of the highlights. The Mustangs and the Cardinals. And here we go. Juwan Cooper, who is in for
Dan Stanley.
Stanley did play tonight, but he did not play much as he's banged up. Here's Danny Stanley, I think, right here with the spinorama. Beautiful tackle there by the Cardinals. And here comes Juwan Cooper again. A couple of big lions here. At least a couple of those linemen from Munster are big, as well as East Chicago.
And you know, I think that Munster was able to keep Devontae Jones kind of contained. They didn't let him to the outside. There was an interception.
Yeah, that was Jacob Fitch on the pick after a Jacob Stribiak tackle for loss. Munster's defense really stepping up tonight.
Yes, they really, really did.
There's another Danny Stanley run early. They lost Jalen Scott later.
A little bit too, yeah, that's right. Jumonville just really took over and played very, very well. I think this is him scoring right here. No,
that was
31.
Danny Stanley
right.
Scoring before he went out. Devontae Jones with a kick return. East Chicago got some big plays coming up here from Jordan Velez.
This is a nice job there. Look at it, look, stays on his feet. Stills up, nice move.
Munster was due to finally get those turnovers cleaned up. Here's Velez going down all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. You see, you know, late in the season, offense now maybe more on cylinders. If you cut back the playbook a little bit, do what you feel comfortable doing. It's very important that Munster not have any of those mistakes and put their defense in a bad situation. And their defense came to play tonight and had an outstanding night.
That's right.
One of these scores by EC was in the closing seconds. 17 seconds left when they scored to make it 28-22.
But then they kind of pooched the kick, and Munster got it.
Oh, beautiful throw, beautiful catch there. Jalen Scott went up top for the reception.